And we
That
sounded
was
good.
Stan's fault.
Yes, we did.
Stan the
He
man.
wasn't ready for that one. That was some of the sound effects we had this morning. Yo, Stan
was
is
wild.
back though.
Hey,
Yeah,
Stan
yeah.
the man.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Happy
Hey,
Saturday,
how you doing?
happy
Happy
Sabbath
Saturday.
day, and happy great summer and fall. I feel
Right.
like we still in the middle of that because the sun is out and it feels good. We didn't
It
wear our
feels really
jackets
good
or
today.
anything. It's
I
like,
who didn't
I
wear
wore a jacket
I
today.
wore
I ain't wear a jacket. I wore a
She
coat
didn't
but
wear a
today.
jacket.
it's
Okay.
a beautiful fall day anyway, right? But it's all
wore a
good.
straight
It's
up
all
coat today.
great. It's a good God day.
Is
I'm
this
Yes,
Wyoming.
it is.
I am Linda.
And I'm Jamila.
I'm Kathy.
And we are still
Four
Sisters
Live.
Yes. Good. Y'all know Laverne and Shirley, a.k.a. Peggy and Charlene, are still out.
Yeah.
They're doing their thing. They're out at some conferences. There's a lot of conferences for women are going on today. I think we have
are doing it big.
Cheryl Wood.
Sure
Is
Speaker
that
Con.
today? Okay,
Speaker
Speaker
Con.
Con.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
Speaker
today?
Con.
That's
Yeah,
today.
it's
Wow.
today.
It was
Yeah.
started yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, she should be calling
gonna be
in
phenomenal.
shortly to give us
Yeah.
some feedback and what's going on there. So we're being represented, Four Sisters Live, at that conference today. So we all over the place. But in the meantime, we could pull our sisters from the Sisters for Sisters Network. Yay! Got my girl Kathy as always. Thank you, Kathy.
Looking good. Look how beautiful she
Yeah,
is.
she always coming in here looking wonderful.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the other hot seat,
Don't take off all your clothes.
don't.
Don't take off all your clothes.
No, it's all good. You beautiful
It
anyway.
happens when you come in.
My
here.
girl.
Yeah.
You get turned up a little bit.
I'm not the same Jamila that's the pastor of the church down here. That's not
This
me.
is Reverend
That's not
Jamila
me.
Woods.
Reverend Jamila, but that's okay.
It's
You
all
get
good.
you come in here, you get kind of turned up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all live. That's why we
We
call it
want
Four
you to be
Sisters
live.
Live.
We are live.
That's right.
We have a great show for you today.
Ooh,
We have
yes.
some
Yes,
awesome
we do.
guests here,
Ooh,
guys.
yes, we do. Yes,
I am
we
excited
do.
about today, even though it's a topic that we don't like to discuss, we don't like to deal with it. We continue to try to sweep it under the rug, but we got to continue to keep it out there because
Yes.
it's
That's right.
happening. It's not seeming to go anywhere.
right.
So we must talk about these things and the
Every
issues at
day.
hand all
Yeah.
the time, every day.
Right
Well, it's
now.
always something happening,
Right
whether it's
now.
happening in your home, in the schools, in the churches, in the community.
It's
In
everywhere.
it's everywhere
dark
in the
places.
entertainment world, in
the
the
light
sports
places,
world.
too.
It is
And
just
light
a
places.
thing that's going on in many, many, many areas and places. So today is our platform. Our sisters here. You all know how we roll here on this Four Sisters Live. First Saturday, domestic violence, which is the first Saturday in November. Today, second Saturday, is our health and wellness, which is headed up by our girl Linda.
Yes.
Third Saturdays, we talk about education and mentoring, and that's headed by Charlene, of course, Charlene. And then we have on fourth Saturdays, we do our entrepreneur, talk about entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur, you're an author, whatever you're doing to enhance and grow your business, we want to talk about it. And that's headed up by our founder and our illustrious Peggy Morris.
Peggy.
So we have 4 topics on fifth Saturday. Somebody said fifth Saturday.
Fifth Saturday.
We bring it all together and we talk about our community at large. We bring our youth in and talk about everything on the fifth Saturday. And I think this month has a fifth.
It does.
Right.
It
And
does.
I think Dante
Yeah,
is supposed to
Dante.
take that over. Our youth. We're going to start bringing a lot of our youth in here. Dante, you ready, baby?
You getting ready?
You get,
You ready?
yeah. He's
Dante's
getting ready. Yeah, I
Bring in
can't
the
wait.
youth.
Yeah, bringing the youth. And speaking of youth, we have an awesome young lady who's going to be
Awesome
singing
young
for us
lady.
today. My
Ooh, we
girl,
got some
Treasure
youth
Joy.
Bad girl.
I
With
love
a
her.
capital Y.
Yes,
Yes, youth.
yes, some youth, and we got to take
Yes.
care of our youth. We got to speak about our youth. We're going to be
Yes.
talking more today about youth as it relates to the domestic abuse, even in that issue, in
Yes.
that area.
A lot of times
We got to
that's where
take
it
care.
starts
Yes,
sometimes.
and that's where it starts. That's where quite a few of us may have had that, and it started when we were younger, and then so we can identify it with it. But we want to try to eradicate this situation as
Yes,
much as
yes.
possible and
Absolutely.
bring it and continue it and talk about it. So we're going to get the topic going. We're not going to belabor today. We're going to use this as a day to engage,
Okay.
you know,
Sounds
and
good.
to educate and start
Yes.
talking about this because when I hear 45, now I should wait, but I'm going to just go on in there.
Gone in there.
Going in
Gone
there,
in
going
there.
in
Gone
there.
in
You know, what is it when the 45 says his wife would not even cry if he got shot?
That tells you that there's a
Tells
serious
you
problems
that it's
in our
Somewhere.
world,
Yeah.
and it starts at the top.
And it
Yeah.
starts at the top.
it starts
But
at the
not
top.
only there, it's
And
in the
it's-
home. I feel that
it's hidden,
something
but
is
not
going
hidden.
on.
It's hidden in plain
if the
sight,
wife
really.
won't cry,
If the
Right.
wife
that says
won't
something about the
cry,
husband.
Yeah, right.
and I took that, it hit
You're
me like,
hard.
whoa,
You
that
got-
joked
you
me. I'm like,
hardened.
are you kidding
You're
me?
not gonna cry.
You,
Oh, no.
if I got shot, my wife wouldn't even cry.
Ooh,
So that sent the message.
That's a self-incriminating statement.
yes.
Yeah.
That is a
Well,
self-incriminating
it is.
statement.
It
Well,
is.
you could also look at it if something happened to his wife, would he cry?
Ooh.
So you have right. So we
Okay.
have to talk
Yeah,
about
look at
That's a
these
both sides.
issues.
self-incriminating statement.
It
too.
is. It
Right.
is. It really is.
It is.
So we have to really kind of talk about it because like I've said before, and in my production that I have, the White House to the outhouse to your house.
That's right.
You know, it is happening, and we got to again talk about it. So today is going to be our day of domestic violence issues and that subject today, and we're just going to have fun still because I think we still have to overcome.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We
That's
have
right.
to overcome. We are thriving. We're getting to just understand how we can survive and triumph over
That's
this
right.
situation. All of our
Absolutely.
trials and troubles, we can still have our triumphs, and we can really overcome and still live our lives successfully.
That's right.
Yes.
We really can. We
That's
can't
right.
allow this to hold us down, but we got to make sure that we understand that we can get out of this with the help of some people,
That's right.
Right.
with the
Right.
support of
Has
others.
to be a
You need a
support
support
system.
group.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Definitely
do.
Yes.
You need a support group.
Yep.
That's for
You
sure.
need a support group.
Absolutely.
So we
Yes.
have an awesome sister here that's with the Coalition of Women of Domestic Violence, helping women in that area. Her name is Ayana Wallace. We got her coming up. She's
Ayana.
going to be coming up and talking about what's happening with
Yeah.
that organization and how
Yeah.
they're helping the community of women as well in this area of domestic abuse. We also have my girl, my sister friend here, Imani Love.
Right.
Hey, Imani. We're going to talk about what we're doing together to help some things with our young people and what's going to be going on. And
We
I
got a
want to
call.
say, hey, Facebook Lane, what y'all have? Love y'all for watching. Thanks for always tuning in and watching us. And but this is the day, guys, that we are really going to have a good conversation.
Yes.
Yes, we are, and I'm excited about it. Who's on our line first thing this afternoon?
Hey, this is your sister. How are you?
Hey, Peggy. Woo, what's
Peggy.
going on, my girl? What's happening?
Where are you?
Oh my God, we are down in, I guess you would call this Pentagon City, Crystal City.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
My God, at the Crown Plaza with Cheryl Wood.
All right, for Cheryl.
Yes.
Speaker
With the
con.
SpeakerCon.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
So tell everyone, Peggy, what is SpeakerCon in less than one second? No,
less
in
than
less
1
than a
second.
second. No, in a minute. In a minute. I was just playing,
Well,
but yeah, in 1
in
minute.
short, this is the vision of Cheryl Wood. She has been in the presence of so many wonderful people. Thanks to all of us being her sisters, Cheryl is doing her thing. And I tell you, this room is packed with women that are so talented. I'm representing Four Sisters Live, and they're coming to our table. They want to come be part of what we do. They want to come on the show. So folks got to get ready because it's going to be an explosion in 2020.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's going to be an
absolutely.
explosion.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to call in to y'all guys and let you know that y'all guys are missed. I needed some love from my Linda, from my
Hey,
Wyoming, and
we
my
miss you
Charlene.
too. Yes, yes.
But that's okay. I'm home down the 4th.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
look forward to seeing y'all next week. Okay.
Jamila and Kathy sends
Jamila
love,
and
too.
Kathy is
Sends
sitting
love,
in
too.
here,
Okay.
just sending love
And
to
we
you.
want love back.
I got my girls in the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm down here representing. Okay.
All right.
Yes,
right.
we can see that and we can hear that. And we thank you so much, Peggy, and we love you. And continue. Have a great one, girl. Represent.
I
Represent.
will. Love you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Love you back. We're going to
Bye.
take a commercial break. We're going to come back so we can get involved and engaged with everything that we're going to do today. And we're going to bring up Treasure Joy coming up next. Be right back.
All right.
I am so excited to introduce to you this young lady. She is so awesome. She was here with us about a year ago. And I said, we have to have you back. And believe it or not, she is opening up our segment for our entertainment. You know, we used to have singers every Saturday. Every Saturday, I know.
We're back on
but
track.
it becoming, you know, the holiday is on its way. We got this holiday is coming. We got to bring some cheer and some singing and some love and some energy for entertainment.
Coming from a singer, she
Yeah.
needs to sing for you.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I digress on that. But anyways, you already know I love singers. I love entertainment. But I love this young lady. She is so precious. And she has the most beautiful name. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome Treasure Joy.
Yeah, she is a treasure.
And a joy.
And a joy.
And a joy.
And she beautiful.
Yeah.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. I'll be the one if you want me to. Anywhere I would have followed you. Say something, I'm giving up on you. And I'm feeling so small. It was over my head. I know nothing at all. And I will stumble and fall. I'm still learning to love and just starting to grow. Say something, I'm giving up on you. I'm sorry that I couldn't get to you. Anywhere I would have followed you. Say something, I'm giving up on you. And I will swallow my pride. It was all in my head. I know nothing at all. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Whoa, and I'm sorry that I couldn't get to you. Whoa, say something, I'm giving up on you. Whoa, and I'm sorry that I couldn't get to you. And anywhere I would have followed you. Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Thank you.
Yes, Treasure.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It was. She is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a commercial break and we're going to be right back with Treasure Joy. Yay, give it up for her, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, 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 yes. Put your hands together one more time.
Treasure Joy.
Yes, girl is so awesome. This is what
Phenomenal.
I'm talking about. Young ladies who can sing.
Yes.
I know many of the young girls are inspired because they want to sing, they want to be able to stand on the stage, but you are a pro.
And your presence. And
Your
your presence is
presence
excellent.
is just there.
Yes, you stand
And you're 18, about to be 19.
No, I'm 17, about to be 18.
Oh,
Are you still in school?
She was a little younger the last time she was
voice,
here.
and she was still this powerful voice in
Yes.
this body.
Wow.
It's just amazing. So she's going to have a birthday next month in December.
Get out of here. I'm telling her about my daughter. I can introduce you to my daughter. She loves to sing. My daughter will be 18 next month, too, in December.
Oh, yeah.
The 21st.
Well, she's a 17.
The 17th.
Oh,
Wow. That's what
Y'all got to meet for sure.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm excited because Treasure has done so much in her young youth age. I mean, she's done a lot more than some of us as adults. That's why I said, I'm serious. It's performing between opening up for also kind of artists. So tell everybody what you're doing. I have a whole bio here, but I want you to tell it because no one can tell it like the person
That's
who
right.
really
That's
lives
right.
this all the
Say it
time.
wide. Say it
So
wide.
tell everybody what you're doing, girl.
Right now, in August or September, me and my group, the Capital Kids, we dropped our single, Hitting Up Your Phone. It's been on 93.9. You know, it's been going around. We performed at the Howard Theater. Right now, I'm just honing my craft, trying to learn and studying the piano. Writing music is a big thing for me, so I'm trying to learn how to do that as well. But right now, I'm just, continuing to show my face in different places.
All right.
And continue singing. Yeah.
You had I know you have opened up for like the NFL, and you've opened up for, you worked with Kenny Lattimore.
Yes.
And so Mesa.
Yes.
Wow.
There's a lot of artists.
Marsha
Already.
Ambrosius.
Marsha
Yes,
Ambrosius.
yes.
Woo. So what did Marsha Ambrosia have to say about your voice?
She loved it. We actually, everyone wanted to take a picture with her, and I was the only one that she took a picture with, and I felt special. I was so young, like I was really young, and I sung the Amazing Grace, and it was opening up for her, and she was coming off stage, like lipstick all over the place, and all that stuff. And she didn't want to take a picture with nobody, but she took a picture of me, and she told me I was beautiful and I had a nice voice. So I was happy about that.
Beautiful
voice.
Are the youth
Powerful.
of tomorrow.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
being a
Here
recording
today.
and here today.
We
Yeah,
can
well,
witness it.
Yeah.
we've adopted you anyway,
Right,
so
right.
that's no problem with that part. But I'm just saying because
I'm a teen mom. I adopted her.
Yeah,
Right.
but
That's
no,
right.
because we all should adopt our
Right.
young people.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That-
absolutely.
That means
Absolutely.
we're looking out for them.
That's right.
We're making sure that whatever their needs are met, we can help them make that happen. You know,
right. Right.
was your mom a single mom?
Was my mom a single mom? Yes. Yeah, she was, and she made it happen. You know.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I know she's
That's
so
awesome.
proud of you.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Mom may have to take you away from DC.
When you were a little girl, were you singing around the house?
Yes.
Is that how you got
With
started?
your
I
brush in your
used to
hand.
I used to always watch my mom sing and stuff like that. And so my actual first time singing was at my her grandmother's funeral. I sung, and I was ready
How old
to get
were
the,
you then?
I think I was like 4 or 5.
Wow.
I think
You were singing
Wow.
then?
Yeah, and I was like waiting for her. I was like, could she hurry up and finish singing so I could sing? I was so
The diva already.
You were hungry for it.
I was so ready, and after that, my aunt was taking me to a talent show because I was really into the singing and stuff like that. And I wasn't even supposed to sing, but one person couldn't come, so they were like, "Do you want to sing?" I was like, "Yes, I want to sing," and I ended up winning first place at it. And then after that, it was a wrap. Like, I was like, "Yeah, this is me." If I first played, like I wasn't even supposed to be there, and I won. Like everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, she's so little" and stuff. Like,
Now you discovered yourself.
Yes.
And a lot of times children are shy. Now I've discovered as well, you have a lot of kids who can really sing but shy.
That's my child.
And you
That's
say,
my
well,
child.
parents like, push.
That's my daughter.
Yes.
Oh,
Sing.
yeah.
I don't wanna
Beautiful
sing,
voice.
but
She's
go
so
ahead
shy.
Anyway.
They
Because the
know. They
That's my
know
daughter.
you have
Very
a
shy.
beautiful
That's
voice.
what she
They
needs to be.
see your gift.
Seriously.
But her mother doesn't have to coerce her to sing.
who's
I'm
mama?
sure.
my mama's
Her
right
mama's
there.
Mama's right there.
Hey, Mom.
We thought that was your
Don't be
sister,
rude.
girl. We thought that was your sister. What? We thought that was your sister. Don't fly, Mom.
Look, I was trying to keep it a secret, but Mama
yeah.
can sing.
All right.
Look at that. We have a surprise for y'all next week, huh?
Treasure, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Tell me what, first of all, she is true to her name.
Yes.
You are a treasure and a joy.
Yes.
And your passion just is phenomenal. Please keep that passion. And
Yes, great
we're all
passion.
adopting you. We're all part of your village.
Yes, we are.
Keep your passion. Don't get discouraged. As beautiful as you are, as beautiful as your voice are, there are going to be haters out there
You know it.
that don't want to see you proceed, but don't you ever stop. Please keep that passion, that love. It's in, I mean, it shows all in your face, in the way you carry
Joy.
yourself.
That
And so
joy.
I just want you to
And
be
the passion.
encouraged.
Yeah.
Yes, your passion is so evident. I love hearing, I told you, and I love that you named her Treasure.
Yes.
Because I think that even that is a role model for our young people. You know,
Yeah.
name your child what you want your child to be.
Yeah.
And you named
right.
it, and this is what
that's
you
what
have,
you
a
have.
treasure.
Yeah, a
And
treasure.
so I'm so
I'm proud of you.
So
as
tell
well.
me, are you a senior in high school?
Yes,
Are
this is
you?
my senior year of high
Wow.
school. I go to school, so I have a reduced schedule, so I only have school every other day because I have all my credits. So with that, I just work. Just
What school do you go to?
I go to Thomas Edison High School in Alexandria.
Okay. And what are your plans after high school?
I'm probably gonna go into the reserves and the military reserves, and then I'm gonna do real estate. But I'm also gonna on the side do singing and entertainment, modeling, and all that stuff.
All right.
But for right now, like I'm just gonna get myself together, like finance wise, and like having my own and stuff like that, so that I can financially support my own career. Because being in this career, all they want is the money. Like for you, that they don't support you, they don't care
I
about
have
the
to hook
money.
you up with the
So
Let me
Boys
tell you
Watkins
something.
Network because he has one of the millionaires for young people just like you. I just came from last Sunday. I was at a seminar on investments, and so you have to learn how to invest
In yourself.
yourself right now. So you won't have to worry about other people's money.
There-
Your
there-
money.
There's a scripture in the Bible that says your gifts will make room for you.
That's right.
And your gifts will make room for you. You don't have to make your gift. This is something I want you to hear. and hear loud and clear. You don't have to make your gift your side piece.
That's right.
You don't have to make your gift your side piece. It is your gift, and you have enough to make your gift your priority. You hear what I'm saying? Yes. Believe that and work on that, because you have something that the world needs, not just once. You have something that the world needs that would be such an encouragement. I'm telling you, I was in the ladies' room, y'all. I was in the ladies' room, and I almost messed up because I was like, what?
This girl is blowing.
I said, whoa, that's in the room over there.
So tell me that, are you performing anywhere anytime soon that we can plug in and tell some people about what you're doing?
Not that I know of. I just finished. We just performed our single at Howard for the homecoming game.
Awesome.
What's the name of your single?
Awesome.
Hitting up your phone.
Hitting up
Hitting
your
up
phone.
your phone.
Okay.
Give us a little sneak peek. How I got it?
How's it go?
I need you to tell me what you owe from me. Don't go lying saying that it's on me. Yeah. If I find out she dead, I'm on her way. Don't let me catch you, cause nobody say I'm not the one you can go ahead and play with. Listen up, I know it's groovy. Yeah, you know I'm crazy, thought you knew me. I see you looking at pictures before. I ain't say nothing, I try to ignore. What is you trying to let me for?
That's a treasure right there. That is a treasure.
Did you write that?
Yes. With our group, we work together with an artist. Her name is Anna Mays. She's Hispanic. She's a Latino. She also is a singer. And our producer, Mark Henry. And we stayed in their apartment and we just wrote like everything, you know, just
That's
like
awesome.
Basically, like we want to connect with the fact that, you know, that's what people talk about, like the youth. That's what they're into, and like
they are.
Some
Their
people
phones.
like even though like everyone doesn't, you know, is not into that, but most of the time, like you have to the target that you want and the people that you're gonna sell to, you have to actually target to them, and the conversation, the type of things that you talk about has to be towards them, and that's how you get out there.
It's like hitting them up, hitting those pictures on those.
That's what people do. Phones, hitting up, boys, like that's what it is. That's the conversations you hear teenagers talk about. So that's our target.
That's right. That's smart.
Yeah,
not just the teenagers anymore.
I know. It seems to be the new pastime for the seniors.
Okay.
Oh yes. So our soundtrack is our soundtrack was actually on. Wait, what happened? I'm sorry. I was.
There's something going on over there.
Side conversations. That's old folk talk.
Step on somebody's toes over here.
I heard somebody say, we're actually on the soundtrack of the movie that just came out, Happily Ever After, on BET.
Woo! Yay! That's exciting.
I'm sorry, it's Angrily Ever After. It
Angrily Ever
It just
After.
came out on BET.
I saw that.
We're on the soundtrack for that song. As long as Kitty Lattimore, he's on it too as well.
Awesome.
And Anna Mays, who is one of our partners, Mark Henry, Charles, who is our manager. So it's just like a lot of people that are in our village that we all got the opportunity to be on the soundtrack.
That's the DMV sound.
That's awesome.
That's great. Well, congratulations on everything.
Yes.
Continue to do great things.
Yes.
We're always going to be behind you 100%.
Stop by
and
anytime.
She'll be back. We're going to make sure you come back with the group.
For sure.
Yeah,
with a group.
Yes,
Awesome.
definitely.
Did I tell you when to sign her up?
But we always want to encourage our young people to do great things.
Absolutely.
And this is an
Absolutely.
example of knowing that they can do it.
Yes.
Because you all are our leaders for tomorrow.
That's
tomorrow.
right.
Leaders
And we want to make sure we're in good hands.
And we are.
And we are. We got some treasure joys out
Yes.
there.
Yes.
And company.
I know that's right. But thank you all for, supporting her. Continue. Where can they find you and look you up?
So on my Instagram, it's Treasure Joy, TreasureEeJoy. That's on all social media platforms. Besides Facebook, it's just Treasure Joy, with just one E. Someone stole my name on Instagram. So an extra E.
I was wondering where that extra E came
Yes,
from?
because
Okay,
someone
that
has
you do it.
someone else has treasured your way, and they don't even use the Instagram page.
Yeah, I hear that happens a lot.
That
Yeah,
happens
a
but
lot.
you know what? And I'm gonna say this quickly because we have to go. You must patent your name.
Yeah.
You
You
may
must.
have to because that
have
happens.
to, yeah.
A lot of entertainers do that because people out there want to take their name.
Yes.
So as you begin to
And they want
start
to get
doing
paid
your
to
thing,
get it back.
and they want it right, and they
That's
want
the
to get
game.
paid to
That's-
get it back,
that's the truth.
and that happens. So that's another conversation. That's a seminar and a workshop to talk about entertainment and business at hand.
Especially doing business.
So we
Business
love
and
you. We're
entertainment.
Business of entertainment, absolutely.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank
Yay!
Love you.
And thank you,
We're gonna take
Mom,
a commercial.
for all you do.
Always, Mom.
Yes,
Every
thank you,
mom
Mom.
that's out there
That's right.
supporting their
That's
child.
right. And pushing and
Absolutely.
taking them places.
We're going
We
to take a
appreciate
break,
you.
another break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about our subject on domestic violence, everybody.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, can you write your name down? Can I have my daughter call you?
Yes.
Her name is
Got a
Lyric.
photo?
Oh, Lyric.
Sound like an airplane. We're back.
Ooh, that was hot.
Yeah, that was.
Y'all saw the up there on the screen said fight.
Yes,
Finish. Fight is finished.
Fight is finished.
Parade getting ready to go on.
Congratulations.
Next.
Yes.
Down
And
on
the
the
parade is
forming now.
Today at 2
2
o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yes.
2
Yes,
o'clock.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's absolutely awesome.
For the whole weekend. The whole
whole
weekend.
weekend.
The
My
mayor has
God.
claimed it the whole weekend.
So
Okay.
this gonna be
Yes.
awesome though because
Yes.
I'll try to get there if I can.
And some parts of it,
No,
you
I'm
can't
not.
help but get into it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you gotta get into it. This is
Got
where we
to.
live. It's Washington.
got
Is
to.
That's
where
right.
we live.
That's
the
right.
nation's
And there's excitement.
capital, and it's very
That was my
exciting.
first time I
times.
looked at a series of baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very
It
exciting.
Really?
drew me in, but I had my jacket and my shirt from when they first started. And I
You
had
sure
worn it
did.
for a while, but I pulled it out the
Yeah.
dust. and it was so amazing on that night, and they were winning. And I had my jacket over there because I've been wearing it all week. And remember, I had it on the show last week. I put that jacket on, and bam, they just won. I said,
Uh-oh,
well, there you go.
Burst of energy.
right. I was already up.
Yeah.
Dante, I missed you. I didn't have that noise in the house. I had to make my own noise.
on the other side of town.
Yeah. Woo, Lord.
But no, we are happy and excited and celebrating. And speaking of celebrating, we are celebrating Four Sisters Live's 2nd anniversary.
Oh, yes.
Next week will be our official
Yay!
anniversary.
I remember that morning.
Yes, wow, Now that's gonna be a
Wow.
conversation we're
Yeah.
gonna have to engage in when the ladies come
When
back.
they come
But
back,
we
how
really,
we actually formed this
yeah.
madness.
So we're gonna talk about all and take it back some
Yeah.
and do our little history and our episodes and stuff
yeah,
like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But anybody having a birthday? Happy since we're celebrating. Anybody
This is
celebrating a
November
birthday? We the
1st, 2nd.
This is second day.
Second day in November.
November. You
You
got
got
a
a
birthday
birthday?
coming?
13.
Woo!
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday! Yay!
All
Got
right.
a birthday is
Congratulations.
coming up. Yay!
Yes,
But I
November.
also, on a sad note, we lost one of the legends of comedy.
Another one.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
this
know,
old
yeah.
man. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah,
Bam,
yeah.
bam,
Yes. What you say, Dante?
Rest in peace, Pops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rest in peace, Pops. I'm telling you, man,
Yeah.
that just like took me. I'm like, oh my goodness.
I know. I remember going to see him at the Improv, man.
Yeah,
That man
nice
is
guy.
so
Met him
wow.
once. He was always
cool.
in D.C.
Yeah.
Hanging out in D.C. and things of that nature. But he was an awesome man,
Awesome.
really nice, kind man. The world is going to miss him in the comedy, you know. So, again, prayers up to his family and his
Family,
friends
yes.
and all those who
all of
definitely
us that
was
love
with
him.
And definitely, awesome man,
Yes.
awesome man. So that's what's up. But I have a question going back to the winning and champions. What happened with the Mystics? Somebody just tell me. I just want to know. Did they celebrate yet? Because they won.
It's supposed to be coming up. They're having
Yeah.
They've had one coming.
it's delayed for
It's
whatever
coming.
reason,
Okay.
but they're going to have a parade for them too.
Okay,
Yeah, they
okay.
supposed
I
to
just
have
want to make
parade.
sure that
Yeah.
women came. While we talk about our women,
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right now,
absolutely.
women.
Don't be
Yeah.
pushing us to the
Put
side
us
for all
to the
this
side
stuff.
and the back,
Yeah.
What's up with
Yeah.
that? I mean,
Our
you had this
women-
one right away. What's
Yeah,
up?
yeah.
Yeah, because I've always said that women are doing it big in 2019. I will
Yes.
continue to say that. We're on the move. We're doing
DC's
some
doing it
wonderful
big.
things. We're doing wonderful
Except
things.
for the Redskins.
DMV
And then,
is
well, we
up
don't go there.
well.
We're gonna put all the positive energies
Yeah.
out there so that they can catch a hold.
DMV.
Some things you gotta grab a hold. Come on now, just
Yeah.
step on up, step it up. You know, and but no,
Yeah.
we're gonna keep all things positive. We're gonna stay optimistic about our other teams
Yes,
that's out there.
yes,
But
yes.
they have
The
the
ones
same
that are
colors
out
that
there.
we
Yeah,
have on.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But no, we're going to get into this topic of domestic violence. We're going to take one more quick break because I want to keep it moving. I want to make it happen. And then Dante set us up, and we're going to bring up Ayanna Wallace. We're going to talk to her and begin to engage about this, what's going on out there with our women in the area of domestic abuse. We'll be right back. as I said early on in the show this afternoon, is that we're going to be talking about the area of domestic violence, and we have two ladies here now. We did a switcheroo, but we want to engage. We want to have this conversation, and we thank you, Ayanna, for coming. Thank you, Imani, for joining me, girl. And I want my girl Jamila is going to introduce our guest here.
All right. And so I'm so excited to tell you about Ayanna Wallace, a Black American intersectionalist woman. She graduated from Dickinson College with a bachelor's degree in women's and gender studies and minors in English, history, and creative writing. This is a smart chick right here.
Yay.
She went on to obtain her master's from Towson University with a degree in women and gender studies. Throughout her time at Towson University, Ayanna focused her area of research on violence in communities of color, specifically intimate partner violence, sexual violence, reproductive coercion, and medicalized racism. Wow. Ayanna has studied extensively the theory and everyday implications of privilege, oppression, and intersectionality, including the work of Patricia Hill Collins, Audre Lorde, Bell Hooks, and more. She always strives to be intersectional in her approach and to highlight the experiences of victim survivors who have been marginalized and how systematic barriers and violence further impact victim survivors. Ayanna recently joined the Ujima Incorporated team and serves as their training specialist. Prior to her work with Ujima, Ayanna acted as a project manager and lead trainer with the Maryland Network Against Domestic Violence, where she also worked with
MNADV.
Yeah, them, MNADV's lethality assessment program, and was responsible for managing several national sites on the implementation of lethality assessment program Maryland model, the LAP. Please join me in welcoming Ayanna Wallace.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yes, so we're here to talk about the area, which you already know, in domestic violence. Your area is working with your women's organization, which is called the Women
Ujima.
The Ujima, which also is a principle.
Yep, it's one of the Kwanzaa
African,
principles.
It's the African principle, talking about how we come together and do,
Yep, collective work and responsibility.
Collective work and responsibility, absolutely. So I want you to explain to everyone what you're doing, how you all are impacting the community with what you all are doing with Ujima.
Sure. So Ujima, we're the National Center on Violence Against Women in the Black community. So what we do specifically is center the experiences of Black survivors. So we always make sure to address violence at the intersections, because we know that if you're a domestic violence survivor, you're not just a domestic violence survivor. You're a survivor of racial violence, you're a survivor of community violence, of sexual violence, of institutional violence.
Wow.
And so we really make sure to address all those different layers in order to really give folks what they need. And we really want to make sure that we give Black women and girls a voice, that we mobilize our entire community to handle this issue, and that we're really engaging all levels of our community and all members, so including men and boys as well.
Yeah, I think we do have to include our young boys and our men in this, because we understand that they play a part too, and they're abused as well. You know, they are victims at times when we're doing this. So at the same time, you all are talking about there, and I'm sure, and helping the women to understand. Do you find that you all have women who are out there abusing men, and you have to tell them how to conduct that?
There are women that abuse. We have found that a lot of women who do turn to abuse have been victimized. But we would say that it's a little different. So statistically, women still are the primary victims of domestic violence, but Black men and boys still also experience domestic violence. So we always want to include them in what we're doing too.
So are you all having events? Do y'all do events throughout the year?
Yeah, we do events throughout the year. We hosted probably 10 events locally this year, but we always have big pushes for outreach. So we're all over, we're a national program, so we train all over the country. We were just in Chicago. We had our Fearless Brunch, which was a moment to honor survivors. We had about 75 people come out for that brunch. Locally, we did a coffee and conversations where we talked about Black maternal mortality and health and how it connects to domestic violence. We hosted an op-ed workshop at Georgetown Law, where some students came out and learned how to actually write op-ed pieces and really give editorial feedback. So we do a lot in the community. Yeah.
So I have a question for you. I was sharing earlier with my sisters that, it's very disturbing. The Department of Justice changed their whole definition. I want to read that, and then I'd like for you to kind of speak to that, because I think it's a real need for us to understand that we have to fight to make sure that violence is identified just as it is. It's not just physical. It has so many aspects and components that have such a traumatic impact on women, on men, on children. So they changed their definition of domestic violence on the website last year. The definition used to be a pattern of abusive behavior in any relationship that is used by one partner to gain or maintain power and control over another intimate partner. They said domestic violence can be physical, sexual, emotional, economic, or psychological actions or threats of actions that influence another person. This includes any behaviors that intimidate, manipulate, humiliate, isolate, frighten, terrorize, coerce, threaten, blame, hurt, injure, or wound someone. And I think that was the most acceptable definition, if you will. However, they've changed the definition, and I don't know that a lot of people realize this. I'm in a lot of circles where people who do domestic violence work don't even realize that they actually changed the definition, and the new definition only accounts for physical domestic violence and no longer addresses other patterns of abusive behavior. And as you know, this causes so many challenges for people who are going to court to try to get support because they no longer accept some of the things that clearly fall in the line of violence as domestic violence. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, it's an ongoing challenge for advocates because we're constantly trying to really get folks to understand physical violence isn't the only form.
Correct.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it used to be where if you would show up to court and you didn't have bruises all over your body, they wouldn't believe you.
Right.
And so we don't want folks reverting back to that
And that's what they're
mindset.
doing, basically. It sounds like they're reverting back to that.
Yeah, and so, but we have to just stay focused on the fact that we know it's not just physical violence, so we're still going to address it in all those other forms.
Yeah.
And what about legislatively? Because I think that's an area that we really need to come together.
That's how you can
in
change
communities to change things, to get legislation put in place so that people who are abused in ways other than physical and who are so impacted in ways other than physical abuse can get the support that they need.
Yeah, so that's something that Ujima also does. We have a public policy attorney on staff, and we're constantly working with, so VAWA is up for reauthorization now. We're constantly working on that. We're working on other funding streams to really get them to support local services. And we will do things like even working on the Crown Act, or supporting the Crown Act that came out of Montgomery County, where Black women's hair, natural hair, needs to be protected in the workplace. Like simple things like that.
That's right.
We really want to make sure that equity is on all levels, and so we'll really support whatever is coming out that we think impacts Black women in that way.
Well,
And we need.
I was just going to ask you about, what about same-sex, you talk about abuse. What's the research shows about same-sex partners as far as domestic abuse is concerned?
So the statistics are about the same for hetero couples, but they have different barriers because we know that the workplace isn't always protected for them to begin with. And so if they have an abusive partner that comes up to their job, they're now at risk of losing their job because they've been outed. So we really make sure to support our LGBTQ brothers and sisters as well because they are part of the Black community.
That's right.
So you can't leave folks out.
No,
Right.
not at this
People
time.
Right.
The other thing is that when you all do have shelter, do you all have the shelters available or?
So we as a national program don't necessarily do direct service. We do have a program called the Person Center that works with African immigrants. And so we have some transitional housing there, but we definitely work with supporting survivors. I just had a survivor from Georgia contact me and ask for assistance. So we're working with Georgia right now to get her what she needs. But yeah, I mean, housing is one of the number one issues for domestic violence survivors and one of the number one causes for homelessness.
Right.
So we see those intersections, right?
That's right. Now,
So Imani, I wanted to ask. Go ahead.
I just wanted one other thing because you mentioned VAWA, and it's important that we know as individuals our vote counts, and there are so many people right now who are fighting to have that Violence Against Women Act terminated completely. If you haven't seen it, yes, there are several of our leaders, legislators, who are fighting not to renew the Violence Against Women Act.
So you need to find out who
And
they
so-
are.
Yeah, that's true.
And we need to talk them out. We need to let people know we have to all be
Call their
represented.
offices.
Yes, we have to
Call
be
your
present. Power is
representatives.
power in numbers.
Yes.
And they need to be influenced with calls.
That's right.
You
Right.
know, about
And
these
your vote.
issues.
And your
Right.
vote.
And your vote.
You know, because they
yes.
work for us.
Tell
we don't
them
work
that
for
you're
them.
not going to
right.
vote
They
for
work for
them.
us.
You got to
That's right.
tell them.
Your
You
vote.
don't get my vote.
That's right.
You got to tell
Have
them.
you found that to be strong when you talk about voting and putting your power where it belongs?
right.
and
Oh
that's out
yeah,
there
we
with your
definitely
voice?
have to. We definitely have to have those conversations.
Yes.
And so, for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which was October, we just celebrated.
Right.
We
Every
went out.
month.
Yeah, every month, really. We went out to Howard University's campus on the quad and just had conversations with students and how to
Awesome.
engage their
That's
community
awesome.
as well.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And so that's why I want to turn to Imani, because she's been working alongside with me with the youth component of this all. Because we've talked about our youth as its age with Treasure, Joy, and other ladies, so that a beautiful young lady like her would not be snatched by a relationship that would turn her and taint her and give her negative outlook on her being a beautiful woman. And that's what's happening to some of our young girls. The young guys out there abusing them. And what do you want to say about that as it relates to?
I want to say about that it's oftentimes more hidden than it is out in the open, because there are new, innovative ways that people are using control. For instance, in our play that we have coming up called #Unmuted, we try to highlight where they're using technology to control other people. I don't want anyone in your inbox, or who was that on your page, or who's that liking all of your pictures. So we have to have that conversation, raising young men and women to understand their language and how they communicate with one another, so that they can know the telltale signs of when someone is overbearing or controlling, or those little red flags that can lead into other things. So I
And
think
even at the other agendas that we've been talking
Yes.
about as well, it starts even that age, they're fighting,
That's right.
you know, with each other,
Yes.
amongst each other, within that community, if you will, because they need to understand that it's not the way of showing love.
Right.
If you're being abused in your home and you see it in your home, you
That
may think,
context. You think,
Think it's normal.
You
And
think
you
that's
think
the
that's
norm.
just
That's
normal.
some people's norm,
and that's
unfortunately.
just true, yeah. And so we're working on having an event coming up next month. We're going to talk about it some more. December the 7th, that's what it's slated for, and we're going to give you more information about that. But today being domestic abuse, and we talk about the violence at hand, I wanted Imani to come so we could talk about our youth, how we're now putting some effort into working with the young girls as well as the young men. I already spoke to someone in your office, so they're on board to support as well. I know Jamila is going to help us be on board. I want all of us to support, because
Right.
as we said
Absolutely.
earlier, they're our future.
they're our
Absolutely.
treasures
And
and our
they're our
joys.
treasure as well. And so we
Yes.
must talk about this. We must address it. So we have the millennial. She's a part of the millennial. I
don't know why she wants to give me that. Half a century plus.
I understand, but we have millennials who are working on this project
Right. Oh,
because
that's
they
good.
know
And I like
what
to work
they
closely
want.
with them.
They
Right.
and she's working closely with them. But the name of our event is #Unmuted
Unmuted.
Logs.
Right.
LOGS,
It
levels
was
of
generational silence.
Wow.
Oh, that's
wow.
heavy.
So
That's
this
powerful.
is what,
right
yeah,
there. Yeah,
levels
that's
of
big. Yeah, that's
generational
powerful.
silence.
Levels
and so
of
we have
generational
our,
silence.
yes, and we
Wow.
have our logo. We're going to be putting that out for you all coming up
Wow.
and talking about it. We want you to be involved, get engaged, help us to help them
Yes.
to be able to be safe. They're getting ready to, they're in school, but some of our children are so disconnected. They're so disconnected. And this is a conversation that really needs to go on in the schools, but we understand that that's political.
Yeah.
Right.
So all these things that we have to talk about. So my girl, Reverend Jamila, she works so tirelessly. Speak on the fact briefly about your area, because you're a counselor. You are a certified counselor in this area, and you work with young people as well.
I work with young people. I work with adults. And, you know, you said something about being political in the school. I was asked to come into some of the schools in Prince George's County to talk about some of these things. And there was a lot of pushback, and it's so unfortunate. And, you know, on one occasion, I actually went into a school and had an audience with some young people, and some of the young people started breaking down.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
they'll
room.
disclose. They will disclose.
In the room. We actually had to take two of a male and a female out of the room. And I said to the principal, you know, you see this happening, you know, what are we
Right.
doing? He said, we can't do anything. The only thing we can do is send them to the guidance counselor. And the guidance counselors are not equipped. You know, and so we need to do everything in our power, even as we fight, to make sure that we're equipping. You can't have a clinician that's servicing 10 schools in the course of a week, and that's what we're doing. And there are so many people who are hurting that are not getting the time and attention that they need. So we need programs like yours, and we need to come together to make sure that the needs of our young people are met, to make sure that they have an out, that they have someone that they can talk to who can relate to them. You know, part of the problem with a lot of people dealing with young people is that they look at young people in a negative way and they don't realize the context. And that's what we talked about. If you see some, you know, if you've grown up in abuse, then abuse is normal. Well, some of the things that we fault our young people for today is what they've been exposed to. Exactly. I always tell people when I was coming up, and I'm not going to talk about my age, but when I was coming up, at 10 o'clock at night, I heard dun, 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 dun on the television. And after that, you heard fuzz, okay? You know, when I was coming up, Ozzie and Harriet were husband and wife, and they slept in separate beds with a nightstand between them. The stuff that our kids are exposed to today, we want them to be, you know, we want the kids to be this and we want the kids to be that, but they're exposed to stuff we were never exposed to. They have to process behaviors and actions that we never had to process, and we had some difficult times ourselves. And so we have to meet young people where they are, and we have to recognize they go through depression, they go through all type of mental health challenges, they feel trauma. Trauma is so real. They feel it, and we act like they're too. I mean, I've actually heard people say that. It was said to me when I was coming up, "You're too young to be upset," or "You're too young." No, if they're upset, they're upset, and that's real. And we have to learn how to be ready, willing, and able to address their needs and meet them where they are.
Navigate through it.
I'm Gabriel's Lyric Therapeutic Services.
And you deal with the mental health, which we know a lot of this is mental, and she's very much hands-on. And we're going to bring and draw her in because we need to learn and understand what you're doing. We're not trying to reinvent any wheels.
That's right.
We're trying to push.
We're trying to strengthen the wheels. That's what we're trying to do.
And we need it strengthened as we speak right now. Before we leave, we got about a minute left. What you have going on, Kathy?
Oh, yeah, what I wanted to just share with everybody is I have a caregivers event, and this is for family caregivers. It's free. It's an opportunity for caregivers to just come and spend a day, November 16th, at the beautiful Fridays Day Spa and Lounge. Located at.
Free.
Yeah, it's free, y'all. It's located at 3206 Lucille Drive in Fort Washington. So it's going to be wine tasting, food, also vending. But the goal is for caregivers to take time for themselves.
Awesome.
So we welcome you all to come. November 16th.
Awesome.
We're going to bring it back around, and we have some caregivers out there. You know of any caregivers? We know that they must also take care of themselves.
That's right.
Because
that is so
awesome
real.
Task.
Yes,
hard. And it's really hard, but just know that you can get care through the caregivers spa day coming up on the 16th.
Nice.
I have not heard of it, and it's free as well. You can't be free.
You can't be free.
Free.
But you do have to register now. So register at Eventbrite. Register at Eventbrite or call me at 301-455-7478. So you have to register.
Say it again.
Oh, my number, 301-455-7478, or go to Eventbrite and register, but it's free.
And she's on Facebook, Kathy Muhammad.
Yes,
So
phenomenal, another phenomenal woman right here.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
And speaking of phenomenal, let's give it up for all of our women. You know, our time has been well spent. We know we always have a good time
Health
when we
and
come on
wellness
Four
next
Sisters
week.
Live. Next week is our health and wellness.
Kathy's on.
Yep,
Kathy's
I'll be back.
gonna
I'll be
back.
back.
I love to talk about our health and wellness. She has some stuff up here talking about your pets.
Yeah,
Our pets
I got
gotta
stuff
be
to
healthy.
calm you down.
Yes, stuff
Oh
to
my
calm you
gosh.
down.
Hemp
stuff to make
extract,
you
something
say,
to rub on that pain. That's right.
So we love you for watching today. Continue to be blessed. Continue to have a great day. Be safe out there. Going out there for our Nathan parade, but enjoy your day.
Have fun.
And we love you for watching. And we know what time it is. It's
Time for you to walk in your purpose and prosperity.
See you next week.
See you next
Bye-bye.
week.
Bye. Thank you.
Let's rock.
Rock. Huh? I can't rock. I can't rock.